Hi everybody, it's Kevin with Digital Kev, and today we're going to do an update, basically just a tech update. So let's go straight into it. I don't want to waste anybody's time. The Apple WWDC had some really cool news. This week they released a new Mac Pro, a very expensive Mac Pro, but it's Pro, so it's for professionals. So hopefully those professionals are making quite a bit of money. The new Mac Pro starts at $6,000. Now that's for the base 8-core processor, and it just goes up from there. We don't know how high, but some places are guessing that the 28-core top-of-the-line model Mac Pro could fetch as much as $35,000. I'll let you sit on that for just a second. What I really want to know is, will it grate cheese? So in other news, let's talk about the rest of WWDC. Well, not the rest of it, just a small piece of it, because it's a pretty large conference. So iOS 13 is coming out. Now, iOS 13 is going to be a large update. Maybe not size-wise, but as far as features that iOS 13 will have in it. Stick with me through this. You're going to love this. Dark mode. Okay, now dark mode has made its way onto Android phones over the last couple of years, and dark mode is something that is pretty impressive. It changes everything to dark. I don't know how else to explain it. Dark mode will allow you to sit in bed at night and enjoy scrolling through whatever on Safari that you want to scroll through. I don't know. Social media has got a whole different thing. So YouTube has a dark mode. Download the YouTube app. Watch my videos on it using dark mode. I'm surrounded by all this black stuff. It's great. Really. No, seriously. You will love dark mode. It really does look better, I think. Especially in the evening hours, especially at night. Especially when you're staying up way later than you should, and you need to check something or change something on your phone, like a setting, like your alarm clock for tomorrow. So if you're doing something like that, it's dark, and you don't want the bright light from the screen just blinding you, right? So in dark mode, which can be scheduled on iOS 13, and you can actually have it scheduled to come on at, say, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Whenever it is that you're getting ready to turn into bed, or you just want things a little more quiet, right? So you've got the lights dimmed down, you turn your screen on right now, and it blinds you, all right? In dark mode, you turn your screen on, and everything goes into this dark mode. So it's easier on the eyes. It's really a great thing. And once you Apple users get this update, you're really going to love it. I joke about it. I swap phones. Look, I'll have an Apple phone in a month. Don't worry about it. So another big update is the new Photos tab that they're coming out with. Now, here's the thing. It's got a lot of features, some really good features. But Apple, you gotta allow people to upload photos to the Apple cloud without charging them so much money. Then people will want to use features like this. It really does have some cool features. You can go look at it on the Apple website, on the iOS 13 preview section. But I'm just saying, as long as Google Photos has the free storage and still does a lot of these things, nobody's really wanting to use Apple storage, and nobody wants to keep all those pictures on their phone, because if you're like me and you take a lot of pictures, it clogs your phone up. So Apple, help us out. Let us upload at lower resolution for free. That would be a big help. It might even get me to look to Apple instead of Google Photos. Maybe. Now, one of the biggest things that they're coming out with, and I think this really is a great feature, is sign in with Apple. Now, we've all experienced the sign in with Google or sign in with Facebook. This is a sign in with Apple. Now, what makes this unique is Google and Facebook, they make money by, well, partly by sharing your information. They share your information with advertisers. They share your information with weird places across the pond that like to get into our political elections. You know what I'm talking about. Facebook. But they make money, okay, by doing that. And so that's how they're able to offer you a quote-unquote free product. Now, everybody knows that also that Apple charges you for everything you do. Apple's a very expensive ecosystem to be a part of. But this is a great feature. So sign in with Apple is much more private than signing in with Facebook or Google. And Apple is going to make it required that if an app on the App Store allows you to sign in with Facebook or Google, that they also allow you to sign in with Apple. That's fantastic. So Apple's building in a way to protect your privacy. And anytime Apple does that, I'm a fan. And I hope other companies take the hint and start doing this very same thing, like Apple and Windows Phone Android, Google, and Windows Phone and Facebook and the like. You know, protect our privacy and we will appreciate it much more. But with the sign-in with Apple, one of the coolest features of it is that if you have to enter an email address to create an account, Apple will assign this fake email address. It's a fake email address. It's not your email address. They will put a fake email address in there that cannot be tracked back to you because it forwards to your email address. And the coolest thing about it is, let's just say that company, whoever it is, sells your data. They sell it. And you start getting spam through that fake email address. Apple says you can turn it off anytime you want to just by turning off that email address. Guys, that is awesome. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, good job, Apple. This is great. One of the other kind of major things that they're coming out with is QuickPath. What is QuickPath? QuickPath is swipe to text. So you swipe your finger across the keyboard on the screen, and iOS will guess what word you're swiping over the letters, and it will put that word into the text blank. And I think that's great because Android has had it for years. So yes, I think it's great. I think it's awesome that Apple is finally doing something that Android did well years ago. They did it well. It wasn't like Apple had to say, oh, we got to figure out how to do this better than Android. No. Just do it. That's it. Just put it in. Anyway, they're finally going to put it in. This is after they have allowed us to use SwiftKey and Google Keyboard, Gboard, for, what's it going on, 2 years now? That you could use other third-party keyboards. So, yeah, we're not really interested anymore. You missed the boat on that one, Apple. Okay, in other news, again, going back to iOS 13, I know I'm flipping around a little bit, but you can go to the Apple website, look at the iOS 13 preview, and it will give you all the specs. There's way too much to talk about in a short video here, and I don't want to bore the non-Apple people, because I know if you're an Android fan, not interested, because we've already got all this stuff. All right, so a ruling by the FCC allows carriers and phone providers, home phone providers, to block robocalls. Good job, FCC. Good job. Good job, FCC. Now, what makes this different is that previously, or what makes this special? Now, what makes this special is that previously, some carriers had the ability to block robocalls, but it was an opt-in feature, and none of them really promoted it that well. This allows carriers to automatically turn that on. Now, I think this is going to catch on quickly, because if T-Mobile's doing it, but Verizon is not, guess who's going to be pushing for Verizon to do it? All their users. They're either going to push by saying, hey, get this, or we're out, or they're just going to leave to go to T-Mobile. A lot of people are doing that anyway. I'm with T-Mobile. I love it. I don't get paid for that, but you should try it. So the FCC is now allowing automatic blocking of robocalls. They should have done this years ago. I mean, FCC, isn't that your job, is to protect against the abuse of communications equipment and systems? And I'm speechless. Next in the news, Facebook is going to unveil a cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's what I thought. So here's the thing. They're doing it under the guise of it's going to help third world countries. Bitcoin and many others are already available to third world countries. So what's the real gig? If you read Forbes on the Forbes website, it says Facebook to unveil cryptocurrency that will beat Bitcoin. What do they mean by that? Well, it's on Forbes, so I think you can read between the lines. Tell me in the comments, do you think that Facebook is releasing this cryptocurrency to help third world countries and their ecosystems or their economies? Do you think it's helping those third world countries, or it could help the third world countries? Or do you think maybe, much like I think, that Facebook is doing this to line the pockets of the execs? Anyway, that's been tech news for this week. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video.